What's up, Yu-Gi-Oh players? I got a deck profile for you guys today, and it is an updated Rescue Ace list. Now, I know those of you have been asking down in the comments below, saying, hey, what about Airlifter at 1? What's going on? What are you going to do with the Rescue Ace? You know, you're the Rescue Ace player. What are you going to do moving forward? I got you. I got this deck list. It's okay. We have nothing wrong. Airlifter to 1. A little bit of a consistency hit, you know, small percentage, but nothing crazy, you know. And I'm gonna show you guys that here, and I'm gonna explain, you know, a little bit of detail. Hopefully this doesn't get too long. I'll try to run through it really quick. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, listen down below. You know, again, shout out to all the homies just testing with me, all the homies back at home in Tucson, you know, teammates, like just helping me out and just being there, playing Yu-Gi-Oh. Remember, have fun and do what you gotta do, and let's get into this deck profile so I can show you guys how to play Rescue Ace going forward. Obviously before Phantom Nightmare. We can discuss that later. Oh my god, Airlifter went to 1. What are you gonna do? It's okay. I got you. We're gonna start it off. Airlifter is at 1 right now, so it does do a little bit of a consistency hit. But like I said, it's not gonna be that big of a problem, guys. Especially when Phantom Nightmare comes out, it really doesn't change anything. But for now, up from now until Phantom Nightmare, this is what we can do. So we got the 1 Airlifter, we got the 2 Hydrant, which is, you know, still pretty standard. A lot of people are still not, you know, thinking about like going to 3. Some people might, you never know. There's a lot of considerations, and I'll get to that as we go through it. We got the 3 Impulse. That's a change. That's a change. Typically we play the one Impulse, but since we don't have the Isolde engine and we're only on 1 Airlifter, what's the quickest way to get to another Airlifter? Whether if it's Rhoda or whether if it's emergency, obviously it's going to be the Fire Engine. Fire Engine, it's going to be really good because it starts obviously starts your engine. You know, it's an engine card. You're going to be activating Rescue Ace Impulse on there too, special summoning Fire Engine, special summoning the Airlifter searching the emergency. You know, it just gets your engine started, and it's pretty much back to square one, like if you had a 1-card combo. I don't really see the consistency problem right here. As you can tell, it really works. Obviously you have to play with your opponent, but it shouldn't be that much of an issue, especially since everybody is activating monster effects. We can be tier limits too. We got tier limit rescue, tier limit Impulse over here, you know, just like happiness. But anyways, going straight through it, we got the 2 Preventer, 2 Chirgoins. We don't want to change this up. You know, the more you put in, the more bricks you get. The less you put in, you know, the more you just don't see it, and you really need to see it. Preventer is always going to stay at 2. I don't think it'll ever go to 3. Unless this deck really gets hurt more. You're always going to want to use it to be able to special from the banish, especially in the case that you're always going to have Airlifter engraved now, or you know, you're going to try to turbo out the lifter and then you can banish it. Then next turn you can do follow-up, Preventer, special lifter search, emergency, whatever you need, Rescue Ace, the field spell. So it just really depends. As long as you like can continue your engine, I think you're pretty much good, and I don't think you guys are gonna have any problems. But getting into the spells, we got the 3 emergency, 1 alert, 1 rescue, and 1 of the field spell. Again, nothing really much changes. Good thing, you know, emergency didn't go to 1. That pretty much would kill the deck, because this is what made the deck really fun. The 1 extinguish and the 1 contain. Like I said, not much to say. You don't want to put any more bricks. Please don't play reinforce. I don't know, just not that big on that card. Just my opinion. You guys can play it as much as you want, but just my opinion on that card. I don't think it's gonna be. It'll probably be a consistency issue for you, if anything. But yeah, so I got those for the Rescue Ace engine. For the rest of the deck, we got the 3 Witch. It's like mandatory to play. It's gonna be basically 2024 Witch format. That's all I'm gonna call it. 3 Wanted and a 1 original. I don't know. I don't see myself playing anymore. Especially not until Phantom Nightmare comes out. Once Phantom Nightmare comes out, obviously we get the Snake Eye Populace, and then we can start going crazy with more stuff that we want to put in. But obviously we're not alone. Rescue Ace is not only going to have the Populace, Fire Kings will also have the Populace as well. I think it's called Populace. It's the pink Snake Eye, so it's going to be sick. We're also getting a new Link monster, which, I don't know, I could talk more about that format as time comes up, but for now I just want to show you guys the goo for how to play Rescue Ace. And now next we got the 3 Fenrirs. Just another engine card. You can start her. I don't know why this didn't go to 1, but Again, it's another card that you can kind of start with, especially some of the Fenrir, search of Fenrir, and then BANLIST send the extra Fenrir. I don't know, it's just gas, it's just free. It's an extra interruption for your opponent's turn, and a lot of people, it's just really hard to maneuver around this card. You know, you just have to deal with it, and it forces people to waste their battle phases, and it forces people to just play weird. But yeah, I like it. Another thing is we got, for the hand traps, we got the 3 Ash. One of the big things I want to say for this format coming up, it's gonna be, I want to say, a draw format, especially with like Upstart coming off the list, Desires coming off the list is up to 3, Prosperity's out, Fire King search a lot, Rescue A still searches. A lot of the decks that are improving and getting better right now, especially because of the BANLIST searching. So I just really think in the beginning of the format, it might be a draw format, or this whole format might be a draw format, and you're just gonna see how luck sack this card is. I think the only problem you might have is probably when G Shifter is around, which it will be around, especially with Cashier and Flunderies. Other than that, they don't got Shifter. This is pretty much your Shifter. You luck sack them, they luck sack you. Other hand traps, you know, I want to say the 3 Imperm. I was thinking about changing these out, which I probably might, only because I'm playing the Fire Engine. With the Fire Engine, this has you play obviously on your opponent's turn, and that becomes an issue when it comes to Imperm, because if you have these 2 monsters on the field, or if you have Fenrir special on the field first, you know, you just don't want, there's too many inflictions, you know, when it comes to it. So like I said, I might be taking out the Imperms and switching them out for some Veilers or some Mourners. There's a lot to talk about when it comes to this deck. There's a lot of varieties of things you can do. You can always go board breaker type, but we'll see how it shapes up. I just kind of wanted to give you guys an idea what's going to be like, what the deck's going to look like. Like I said, shouldn't have a problem on consistency. You have the 3 Prosperity still and the Rhoda. This is basically 2 Airlifters. You're playing 2 Airlifters. Airlifter didn't even go to 1. You're playing 2. But yeah, I don't really see a problem. I think that was about a 42 card deck. I'll get into the extra deck right now. Let's go with, we're starting with the 1 Masquerena. I still think 2 SP is really good. Especially with the Masquerena, you can go to the first SP, banish whatever you need to banish, and then a second SP on their turn, banish whatever you need to banish. I don't know, it's a good interruption. SP is just a really good card. If you're not playing it, you obviously can feel the difference of not having it. Expensive card, but I feel like it's worth it, especially with your gameplay. If you're playing it every single time and using it, the value comes back to you. Relinquish Anima, standard. I think it's better than Linkuriboh. Linkuriboh obviously has its graveyard plays, but Relinquish Anima, so many people play into the zone, and it's also just that free fast dark access. I don't know, nothing really crazy. Dark, Hida, pretty standard build-ups. Got the Unicorn as an interrupter. We got the Selene, and then obviously the access code. All this looks pretty standard except for the Masquerena from my last deck profile before Airlifter. Now we're going with Apollosa. Apollosa is a really good interruption with negate. We can still kind of explode. Gives us that extra monster negate while we have our back row to be able to do our Imperm pop, and then we have the Preventer Book of Moon. I don't know. Deck still plays the same, just I don't feel like we're going the route of the Asode engine anymore, you know, rest in peace Asode. So we can go from there. Do play the Proxy F still, play the Dweller. You know, I honestly have never really made these. Every time I make them, it's pretty ass. But Tearlament, still a deck, kind of. I don't know, people are gonna cope on it. But there's also other decks roaming around that Dweller hurts. Yeah, especially Vanadium. Gotta play the Dragon King of the Swamp because we got the Proxy engine. I still play the XYZ Typhon. The Typhon is like I always tell people, you better have it. It's always worth it. It ends up benefiting you most of the time. Right now, one thing that I'm coping on and just testing out because I don't know what else to use is Baron. As you could tell, you saw I had Fenrir's in the deck. You saw I had the Fire Engine and the BANLIST. So Fire Engine, Fenrir, and BANLIST are all level 7s. Coincidentally, them being level 7, you get the chance of using Hida to special summon their Ash Blossom and using that to go into Baron. Or you just normal summon your own Ash Blossom as a free normal summon because you have HQ, and if you HQ get that extra normal, like, you know how free that is? You normal summon Ash, go into a Baron, and then extra normal go into normal summon your Hydrant, or if you're gas, you know, you normal summon your Airlifter. Yeah, I don't know, I'm coping on it right now, but like I said, it's an extra slot. There's a lot of room for like error, room for improvement. It's just something to kind of play around with, and I think you guys should enjoy as you go. Real quick, I just want to talk key cards of the format. You know, like one key card I think is going to be Ghost Spell. This is not a side deck, by the way. Please do not take this as a side deck. Please do not only use this as like all the cards that you want to put in your side for your locals, because your locals is your locals, your regional is your event. You decide how you want to go about it. But I can tell you, Ghost Spell, this format is actually going to be improving, especially with Labyrinth coming back into the meta. There's a lot of like removal in the graveyard as well with like Vanadium. I don't know, there's just a lot of stuff moving around, and Ghost Spell is just going to be coming back. It's just too good of a card. Obviously Nibiru is really one to talk. Nibiru is a really, you know, good card. People are just gonna not respect it. Might be main deck worthy. It just really depends on how you foresee the format coming into. We got a couple events coming up, so it should shape into board breaker at first, maybe hand traps, whichever, or opposites always attract. So Mourner, like I said, I thought about playing the Mourner in the main deck with Veilers over the Imperms. Just really gas, extra burn. It really costs you a lot. Another thing is, since we play the Impulse, I want to talk about the Fire Attacker. Fire Attacker, a lot of cards, especially like I said, all those decks that are searching with draw and all that, like having the Fire Attacker allows you to draw into them. I thought about switching this over to the Fire Engine, because being able to draw, I think is a huge advantage with this format. But again, like, I feel like draw is going to be running around. It's just my theory. If I end up playing this, Fire Engine comes out, these come out, more hand traps go in. Obviously I get to draw 2, discard 1, I get more hand traps in my hand. It's just, that's the theory you want to think about when it comes to playing Fire Attacker. I really value the Airlifter right now, so that's why I'm thinking Fire Engine might be the play. Just depends. Another thing is an extra Fire Hydrant. You never know, you might need that 3rd Fire Hydrant. I tell people all the time, 3rd Fire Hydrant might come up, or might not. It's just really up to your preference on how you utilize your cards. 1 for 1. 1 for 1 if you reach that extra Hydrant. And you don't have that 2nd or 3rd Airlifter now. Well, pretty much you got 2nd Airlifter with Rhoda, but yeah, you guys get me. This is pretty much another starter. You pretty much 1 for 1 into the Hydrant, and then you Hydrant search Airlifter, normal summon the Airlifter, and you pretty much do the whole full combo again. It's another thing to think about. Last, I want to say a couple things I want to say you should think about are Super Poly. Super Poly is something that you should think about when it comes to board breaking the format. I still think Super Poly is a really good card. People are not going to respect it. You know, we got the Draconite, we have the Garua, and the Guilty Gearfried. Like, people are not going to respect these cards. I want to say, at the beginning of the format, it might be a go-to, especially when it comes to board breakers. They're not going to respect these, and you're just going to end up going into them and blowing them out. Like I said, you know, these are all like suggestions and theories that we should talk about, because this is what pretty much this format's going to kind of revolve around until Phantom Nightmare. Once Phantom Nightmare comes out, there's going to be a whole lot that's going to be changing. Format's going to shift pretty much to a big solved tier 1 format, because it's going to be either Fire King, or it's going to be either Rescue Ace, and then there's going to either be Labyrinth, because Labyrinth has transaction rollback coming out too, which is another thing we can talk about, which is why I keep saying Bell is going to be coming back into the format. I hope you guys enjoyed this deck profile. Please let me know if you guys have any questions. Any suggestions are also cool too. Let me know down below. If you guys want to keep seeing this deck being played, keep seeing more of this and how to improve it and get more into the meta with it, just let me know down below. I don't mind. I always take fun suggestions and ways to like want to be able to improve. So I'm always here to help you guys. I'm always here to learn. I'm here to learn with you, and here to learn right next to you. So I'm 100% team player. So let's go. Let's make it work. Let's top an event. And if my first talk with Rescue Ace is going to be with one airlifter. Let's make it work. That's what happened to me with Strikers when multi-roll went to 1. We can make it work. Alright guys, hope you guys enjoyed this deck profile. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and hope this in-depth profile helps you out. I'll see you guys next time. Later on, Yu-Gi-Oh players.